Hi everyone, this is Ricky with Scrapbookpal.com, and today we are going to be making a card using some products from their store. We're first going to start out with a Yeti or Not stamp set. Then we're going to move along over to the Lawn Fawn Jet Black ink. This ink is really good for your Copic markers, so it's safe to use these. We're also going to be using this snow paper. This is from the Rainbow Christmas Petite paper. And then the other piece of paper, the Snowy Sky, is from Snow Day Remix. We're going to be using some Lawn Fawn glue. This is just in a small container. It works really good, and I enjoy it. Next, we're going to use the Lawn Fawn large rectangle frames. We're going to be using this to make a frame around our card. Then we're going to use the Lawn Fawn Hillside borders, and what we're going to do is make a snowy backdrop with some of those dies. We're going to use a 110-pound Nina cardstock for the base. We're also going to use some 80-pound cardstock. We're going to use some Copic markers, another ink called Manatee, and a few other items that will show up in the video here. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and cut our frame out of this white piece of paper. It's just a solid plain white piece of paper. And we're just going to run this through the die cutting machine. I have a little problem here with the tape and I can't seem to get it to stick, but I finally am able to get it. I run it through the die cutting machine and here we go, it's here. So there was a little piece that didn't really cut, so we need to do a little surgery on the piece of paper. Not a big deal, get your X-Acto knife, anything that'll cut this. It's just a little sliver, easy peasy, put it to the side. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and cut this snowy sky ground. And we're going to cut this at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to be using this, or using a cutter, it doesn't matter which one you use, but 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And that is going to fit the front of the card. And basically, I just want to make sure that the frame is fitting on that. It looks great. And the next thing we're going to do is cut out the snowy backdrops, or I'm sorry, the snowy hills, I guess you would say. We're first going to put the first line on. We're going to cut it at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 first. You would think making these videos I would remember every step, but no, that's not true. Anyway, and also on the left of this video, you can see my camera, or a shadow of my camera. But anyway, let's get back to the card. We're going to cut these snowy drifts out. We're going to use the die cutting machine to do it. And then we're going to layer these two on top of this snowy sky. And I'm just making sure everything looks good. I'm going to put the frame on to make sure it looks okay. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to pull out the MISTI here. The MISTI is like a really great product. I pretty much use it almost on every card that I make when I do stamping, because the good thing about it is it's a stamp positioning tool. So you can put your stamps wherever you want, flip over the door, it sticks, and then you can stamp. And then if for some reason you didn't get a good impression, you can stamp it again and you can keep stamping until you got it. So here I am. I'm going to go ahead and ink this up with the jet black ink. Remember, this is really good with Copic markers, and we're going to be using Copics here in a few minutes. So you'll be able to use this ink with your Copic markers. As you can see, I went ahead and stamped that out twice. I'm going to go ahead and clean my stamps with my stamp chamois because we don't want to keep those dirty, do we? So now we're going to do some coloring. This is 20 times faster than what I actually colored these images. So please do not think that you can color this fast, because it's literally impossible. I will have a list of all the colors that I used here. I'm going to use B04, B05, and B06 on the scarf. And then I'm just going to blend some of that out. I'm going to try to fill this whole thing out while I'm coloring. I'm not for sure what else to talk about. Recently, I graduated from with my master's in HR, so I have been, enjoying the freedom that I have doing that by making cards, which is awesome. Here, I'm actually going to give him like a little polka dot fur outfit. Well, not really an outfit, but you get it. Basically, I just used darker colors, and then I used the colorless blender and dotted that a few times, so it makes him look like that he has little texture on his fur. On this guy, I'm just going to use some warm colors to get him painted. We're not going to do any crazy fur or anything like that. We're just going to get this blended out, and then we'll be done with him. We're going to color his face, I think, with C01, and then we'll move on to the trees. Here, I'm doing this really fast, so I can't really tell you what colors are used, but I'm pretty sure they'll be in the listing for you below, so you can take a look at it and get all the markers that you need. So then we're just going to finish coloring this up. I tried to use different greens just to see what I could come up with. That last tree that I didn't really blend too much. I could have just used the first color and that would have been fine. And then finally I'm going to do the ski mask here because one of our little Yetis is going to be wearing it. I'm going to color this little present. Here we're going to be using the Manatee Lawn Fawn ink. This color actually matched the snow on the white paper. That's why I used it. So yeah, we're going to get this stamped out. I'm going to cut it into strips. And then here you're going to see me trying to be brave and like cut these strips so that they are not crooked. I've had a lot of practice doing this, so yeah. I'm going to get those out and stamped. And then we're going to go ahead and start putting the card together, or try to put it together. We're going to go ahead and get this snowy backdrop, snowy sky glued to the card base. Wow, I need to talk slower, I think. We're going to go ahead and get that on the base, and then we're going to be taking the snow. Now, I could have done some 3M foam tape or some foam tape on the back of this, but I decided that I didn't want it to be two-dimensional, so I went ahead and glued down these snow drifts to the paper. We're going to make sure that's nice and straight, and then we're going to go ahead and get this frame glued on there as well. Liquid glue for this type of stuff is amazing because you can reposition it when you need to. Now we're going to be using some foam squares here to go ahead and get things popped up. Now the trees are going to be just glued down to the paper. You're going to see me glue this down. I'm using my tweezers because of my big old man hands. It's hard for me to get things to where they should be sometimes, so these scissors are amazing. You can actually get these scissors too on Scrapbookpal.com, and I just noticed there's a black mark along my middle finger on my right hand that I guess I did not wash off or was part of me stamping out things. We're going to put some foam dots on the back of the sentiment, and then what I'm going to do is pull out my T-roller so that we can make sure that those are going to be straight when we put them on. Since this is kind of a silly card, you may not even have to do that because it would look cute either, you know, lopsided or going, you know, opposite ways. But anyway, we're going to get this last part of the sentiment on, and then this card will actually be finished. I want to thank you guys for joining me today and taking a look at this video. And also make sure that you head over to Scrapbookpal.com and check out some of the products that I used today. You can also follow me on Instagram by following Romero Cards, and you can also find me on Facebook with the same name and YouTube. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, and this is Ricky with Scrapbookpal.com. Bye. Have a great week.